How are you, man? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for being here. I'm a big fan of Carnation, and even
Cool. Thanks.
I want to show you something that I have here.
Oh, awesome. That's sick, man.
It's the normal vinyl. It's the black vinyl.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool, man.
but the complete album is really amazing. So congratulations for this release.
Thank you.
Today we let's to talk about this album and obviously the new EP of the band called Stank of Death. So the first question is, how was the band born and what are its main musical influences?
The band was formed back in officially in 2013, but we first started talking about the band in 2012. So that's 10 years ago right now. So I met the other guys while we had our other bands, previous bands, side projects, and we used to play a lot of shows together with those other bands. We played various different genres of metal, mostly thrash metal actually, and we started talking to each other at shows like, hey, we want to do something death metal, and that's how we got together. Just a lot of guys with the same idea, with the same vibe. It was not this lineup from the very start, but we were looking like maybe this guy can work, maybe this guy can join, trying out different people to see which group really fits, and eventually, this is the lineup that we came together as.
Perfect. About the album, Where the Lights, how was the writing and recording process of Where the Lights and how long did it take?
Okay, let me think, because it's already a while back now. So for the recording process, we did something different compared to Chapel of the Borns, because Chapel of the Borns, we recorded everything ourselves in our own studio. But for Where That Lies, we decided to go to the Hertz recording studio in Poland for the drums, because they're legendary for drum recording. Those guys are really, really good at it. So we wanted an outside perspective and to try some different things, to try their hall that they have for drum recordings. And that's why our bass player Jarno, who does most of our recordings, went with our drummer Vincent and our live sound guy Bob to the Hertz studio in Poland to record the drums. But then all the other stuff, the guitars, the bass, and the vocals were recorded at our own studio here in Belgium, because Jarno is really, really good at recording. So he pretty much guides us during all these recording sessions. And it's quite helpful to have someone with a lot of knowledge about recording in the band, because we get a lot of extra time to work out ideas and to try different things, to try different guitar setups, maybe some vocal layering or some backing vocals or stuff. So it really gives us time to work on different ideas. So that's what we did for the second album. We did drums in Poland and the rest in Belgium. The writing process pretty much started after we finished Chapel of the Borns, and then over the long duration, we just wrote songs. Most of the material is written by Jonathan, our guitar player, but for Where That Lies, he took all of the material to the rehearsal room. That's where we really put it together with all five of us. We added some different ideas, we changed up the order of the song, or we added we repeated certain parts, and that's how we finally molded the songs into their final form. And we pretty much worked on them for quite a while before we started recording in early 2020. Yeah.
Perfect. And the process of writing and recording of the Stank of Death EP by You Told Me is different, the creative process of the band, from one album to another, right?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So for the process for the Stank of Death was different again.
We went back to what we did for Chapel. We did everything ourselves in the recording studio that we have here in Belgium, but we wanted to keep it pretty simple, because sometimes you start overthinking stuff and you start trying too much. And we felt like this is a rock and roll song. We have different types of songs. We have really long songs that are very complex and has a lot of stuff going on, but we also have very short songs that are more rock and roll. And this song is such a song, and it's a different approach. You just have to really not overthink it and keep it simple in the recording. And that's what we did. We went for a sick guitar sound that's really, really heavily distorted, that just works with the song. And yeah, some good takes. And that's how we put it together. Compared to the album, it was a lot less effort. It felt very smooth, but it's also only one song compared to like 9 or 10. So yeah.
Perfect. And do you have a favorite song from the album Where That Lies?
Ooh, my favorite. To perform live, my favorite would be I think Sepulchre of Alteration. I think that's my favorite to perform, but to listen to on the album, and to, well, while I was writing the lyrics for the album, then my favorite was the final one, In Chasms Abysmal, the final track, because it's a really long track and it gave us a lot of opportunities to try new things, to work on really in-depth guitar layering and vocal layering. So there was a lot of fun to create that song, but it's pretty hard to play live.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it's pretty challenging. So we haven't tried it live yet, because it's also a long song and it has clean guitars, clean vocals and stuff. So it's a lot of preparation. I hope we can perform it live soon or at a certain point, but we haven't had the opportunity yet to really prepare such a track live.
Maybe you can play this song in the Hellfest.
Maybe, but it's not gonna happen, because we already prepared our set list a few weeks ago, because Hellfest is a really important show and we really want it to be tight sets, really a tight show. So we've been rehearsing quite heavily last few days and weeks, and yeah, we're not going to change up the sets now.
Do you have big expectations about the Carnation show in this festival?
Well, we're just looking forward to it. Really, it's an honor and an opportunity to play at this festival. I've been there once before, many years ago, and it's a really cool atmosphere and experience to be there. So it's an honor to perform there for us, and we hope that it'll go smooth, no technical problems. That's just really what we want. If it's no technical problems, then we're super happy, because then we can really just go all out and enjoy it.
Yeah. Perfect. And do you have any band favorite on this new lineup of 2022? Because in the lineup there's more than 300 bands. It's a crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy lineup. There's actually quite a few bands that I'm going to try and watch at the festival. Like Blood Incantation is also playing, one of the newer death metal bands from the US, and I really like their sound, so I'm going to try and check them out. Of course, well, we're playing on the day of Metallica, so I'm not going to miss their show. It's pretty cool. I know the other guys are really looking forward to Merciful Fate. We've got some pretty big Merciful Fate fans in the band, so they really want to go and check out that show. So that lineup is so diverse. It's really a lot of fun to play there.
So do you listen some of black metal, for example?
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty open-minded. I listen to a lot of different kinds of metal, so yeah.
The Sunday Arte Concert, a YouTube channel, streaming live the show of Wotan, and was insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Wotan is really cool. I've seen them live a couple of times, and they're really cool band. They got a great live atmosphere, and yeah, they very good performers on stage.
Perfect. Now about the album of Carnation again, and what do the cover and the title of this album represent? Is there a common thread between these two things and the lyrics of the album?
Well, Where That Lies is actually mostly about shedding skin, and about trying to break free from the mortal bounds that we have, the limitations of the human body, for example. It's about dreaming to be more than human, I would say, to be spiritual or supernatural. It's just a theme that I was really interested into when I was writing the lyrics for the album. I was looking for different ways to describe the process that one would want to acquire such a supernatural form. Like, for example, Napalm Ascension is about burning yourself alive to get rid of the skin, to free actually what's beneath the skin, to free the soul, to ascend to a higher being. And I was trying different kinds of methods on the album, different kinds of forms of achieving that higher state, of course, in a very sick way, but it was just something that I was interested in at that moment. And yeah, that's why I worked it into the album. And I'm still happy I did it because I think it really fits well with the music.
Perfect. How you take inspiration for the lyrics of these songs? Because the genre death metal is very particular in the lyrics. It's very normal talk about gore things or something like that. How you take inspiration for this?
Well, sometimes it's really hard to find inspiration because I try to look for things that I find interesting, or maybe something that I've been reading about, or a movie that I've watched, or even something that happened in real life. And I'm trying to create these inspiration, to reshape these inspirations into a lyric. I don't want to translate it one-to-one, but I want to make some adjustments to make it like something interesting to write about for myself. I used to write a lot of fictional stories for the lyrics, such as fictional themes that fit with the music. But right now, for the newer music, I'm trying to write more things about reality, or things that happened in the past, or things that are happening right now, or simply things that interest me. So yeah, inspiration can come from very different angles.
Perfect. About the new EP, are the songs from this EP going to be part of a future studio album, or will they be left here and not be included in any later album?
No, they won't be on the next album. It's just a standalone release. It's more of a release to showcase, like, we're still here, we're still ready to give it all, because the last album came out during the pandemic, and it was a bit tricky to promote it because we really wanted to tour with the album, and simply was not possible. Now the pandemic has like died down a bit. It's more active here. I'm not sure about all the places in the world, but in Europe the festivals are happening right now. So we really wanted to release a song, or like 2 songs, to show like, hey, the festivals are coming up. We are ready for them. We have created a new track. Let's fucking go. Yeah.
Perfect. And a part of these songs of the new EP, is the band working on new material currently or not yet?
Yeah. We've got a whole album ready. So we've written how many tracks? I think 8 tracks right now. They're fully written. Drums are recorded, guitars are recorded. I think bass is also fully recorded. We still have to record some vocals. That's the last part, and then of course mixing and mastering. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. New album should be out next year, I think.
Perfect. And this time with this band, try to follow a new path, or you follow the same path that the last album?
I think it's the third one that we're working on right now. Of course, it's still a while to go, but I think it's best described as a combination of 1 and 2. I think Chapel of Abhorrence was more straightforward, and Where That Lies had more atmosphere and more variation. We did some more testing on Where That Lies, but I think Chapel was a bit more brutal, and I think for the new one we tried to really get that brutal energy from the first one, but still combine it with the dark atmosphere from the second one. And that's what we're trying to do for the third one, to combine those two and create a good balance between songs that are very energetic, but also with a good atmosphere.
Perfect. So the new album will be amazing.
We're gonna try our best to create a very good album.
Yeah, surely will be. So where, how, and in how long were the videos for the songs Stench of Death and Sepulchre of Alteration made?
Well, Sepulchre of Alteration, we had to be really creative for that one because it was during lockdown, so everything was closed here. We had to really find a solution to create to find a venue. We ended up finding this well, it was actually from a family member of ours, this really big hangar, this really big storage room, and we were able to really darken it, dark curtains, black curtains, and that's how we created this very big open hall, and that's where we recorded Sepulchre of Alteration. I think it took like a full day, pretty long day actually. We actually wanted to do some different things, but we were so limited because of the lockdown that we really had to use what was available, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. But I think if there was no lockdown, we probably would have done more or made it a little different or another location. For Stench of Death, this is all DIY. This Sepulchre was recorded with a different company, but Stench of Death is something that we totally did ourselves. So the shots for the video are all single shots. There's no band shots. So each of us took turns recording, like with a camera. Well, one person was doing the lights, another person was doing the smoke, another person was doing the camera, one person was performing, one person was pressing play for the audio and stuff. So that's how we recorded the music video for Stench of Death, something that we just did ourselves. It took like, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours or something. And yeah, we just like the audio recording, we wanted to keep it as simple as possible, very rock and roll DIY, and that's why we did it ourselves. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Yeah.
Perfect. It's very difficult working with the conditions of a pandemic, right?
Yeah, for where that lies, it was super difficult. Now it's a lot easier. It's more back to normal, but 2020 was super difficult. Yeah.
Okay. About you, how did you learn to make your gutturals or growlings? Self-taught, or do you have a teacher?
I didn't have any teachers or any lessons. I pretty much just started very young and learned by myself. It's a lot of trial. For me, it was a lot of trial and error. I mean, there's probably a lot of good teachers out there, and I often think maybe I should get in contact with them. There's always more things to learn, so why not? But for me, originally, I just listened to a lot of different singers, and I tried to replicate their sounds, but to also like make an adjustment that's more my own sound. I mean, you always have a different sound compared to someone else because each voice is unique and there's always a different stylistic difference. But I used to listen to a lot of different vocalists, and I said like, yeah, I like this sound, I like this sound, I like this trait in his voice, and that's how I try to replicate it. It's a lot of training. The voice is really like a muscle. It's something that you really need to maintain. If you haven't used the voice like that for 5 months, then it's gonna be rough. But if you've been practicing each week and keeping your voice active and well trained, then it grows really smooth and your range really increases. So it's something that I learned over the years. It's to keep it active and keep it really well trained, like muscles.
Okay. A few days in the back, Tobias Forge, the leader of Ghost, he break his voice.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. This was in the Lost song, before of the Lost song.
Okay.
So the band was that end his show before offending. Do you have any specific way of taking care your voice?
Rest is very important. Resting a lot, and yeah, there's definitely things you shouldn't do. It's not very rock and roll, but like when I'm on tour, I try to drink no alcohol at all. So because alcohol is really bad for the voice. It really dehydrates everything that's going on right here, and you need a lot of hydration to sing. It's really important to stay hydrated at all times because it's really important for the vocal folds, vocal cords. So yeah, I try not to drink any alcohol during touring, which is sometimes kind of sad because, well, I like to drink alcohol as well. So, but yeah, I try to stay professional and to not drink. Well, to not drink except for after the final show. Then I can drink, but before I don't really do it. So.
Perfect. Even Short Fisher from Cannibal Corpse says that no smoke help a lot.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I don't smoke anyway, but I try to stay away from people who are smoking, and yeah, no, do not drink alcohol. And it's also really important to sleep a lot. When I'm on tour, I try really to stay quite a long time in bed to really let the body rest. It's not only the voice. I mean, touring is very stressful for the body. There's a lot of lifting of materials. There's a lot of like rough days with a lot of stuff going on. So the body has to really be well rested and relaxed. So yeah, sleep is also very important, and a lot of water.
Yes.
And
Perfect.
also, probably most important is good warm-ups. So warming up before the show, talking a lot, or doing simple singing exercises, or like training, moving the tongue so all the muscles are really warmed up around your face. That's really also very helpful.
Perfect. What is it like to work with Season of Mist?
Oh, it's been great. We've been working with them since 2018, 2 albums already. And the third album is also going to be on Season of Mist. So yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's really good. It's really great working with them. They're very easy to work with. They're very down to earth, very approachable. They're also very open, with open communication, very positive and stuff like that. So that's very important. We feel valued, and that's pretty important as a band on a label. So yeah.
It's all more organized when you're working with a label, right? Compared with the time when the band working alone.
Yeah, it's quite different. Yeah, adds another layer to everything, I would say, because when you're working by yourself, you're just a small group and you have to try to get everything done yourself. But when you have a label and a booking agency and stuff like that, there's more people doing stuff, but there's also more communication because everyone needs to stay in touch with everyone. So you get a feeling that there's a lot more going on. There's also all the different groups have also expectations. For example, Season of Mist really has strict deadlines for audio delivery for an album or artwork delivery. So yeah, you have to really think about a lot of stuff while working with a label, or the same thing with a booking agency. They also have expectations of you, and we have expectations of them. So communication is always super important when working with an outside party. Yeah.
Perfect. My last question is if the band have in mind some Latin American tour, because I'm from Argentina and I want to see you.
We would really love to. We did a Brazil tour once in 2018. I think we played 8 shows in Brazil or something with Pestilence. That was a really cool experience, actually. We really enjoyed going to South America. And we would love to go there again and play different countries. But at the moment, we don't really have a plan yet because with the pandemic, it was quite hard to really predict when we would be able to go there. But we're going to work on it. That's for sure. We're going to try and make it happen.
Perfect, Simon. that was all for today. Really,
Okay.
thank you very much for being here. I hope you had a good time with me.
Yeah. Thank you for the interview. Yeah.
And I wish you a lot of success, especially in the Hellfest that I know will make it history.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for the interview. Yeah.
Thanks to you. Take care, man.
Yeah. Take care.